Are your soybeans turning yellow? I'm Jonah and you're watching our PCT short. There's many fractions that can cause our beans to turn yellow, but a few of the ones I want to bring up to that are quite important, especially this year. So aside of nutrient deficiencies, insects, pesticide interactions with our soybeans, one of the major things we typically see in August is our beans turn yellow, intraveinal chlorosis between the veins turn brown. You're all aware of this. We all see this when you're doing your windshield scouting across your farms. And so aside of sudden death syndrome, which is the normal culprit this time of year that causes the symptoms I'm about to elaborate on, the new disease that's been confirmed last August in 2025, now we're a year forward in August 2026, is red crown rot of soybeans. So we've been talking to you about this for the last 2 or 3 years now. Again, it was confirmed by Ohio State's pathology lab last year. And so if you start to see some of these symptoms that you're going to see here shortly, we want to make sure we're cognizant of that, getting samples, sent them to the lab, because we're very interested in making sure we can quantify this across Ohio, and Ohio State University is as well. So red crown rot of soybeans, it's going to be a soil-borne pathogen, so not seed-borne. And it's going to infect those soybeans when they're young, just like sudden death syndrome. So in those seedling stages, it colonizes those roots and doesn't show its nasty face till August, similar to sudden death syndrome in soybeans. And so when you're scouting your fields this time of year, look for the traditional sudden death syndrome symptomology, where you're seeing the yellowing patches of the field where you knew it was wet, if you had a history of that. Especially in northern Ohio, where this was initially confirmed, and we think we saw it before even that confirmed last year. Just didn't get samples sent to a lab in time. So this disease can be quite devastating, and that's why we want to quantify it so much. So again, when you're out there looking your fields for symptoms, look for plants that has their leaves still attached to the main stems, where SDS, they'll drop the leaves actually. One very important aspect though is when you start to see the symptomologies that you see going across your screen of the leaf deterioration like SDS, is that you're wanting to dig those plants. And so some of the key differentiators of those stems when you cautiously dig those plants is you'll look down towards the soil line and you'll see a reddish stem typically is associated with that. And when you dig those roots up gingerly, you'll note the parathecia, which are small red pin type spherical balls, and those are very, very strong indicators that you could have red crown rot of soybeans in your field or on your farms. And so if you do note that, we want to make sure, let us know. We can help you direct you how to send samples to Ohio State's lab. This is going to be a funded project, so by the soybean boards and the councils, they're all very interested in knowing this data as well. So they're sponsoring this, so it's free of charge if you send samples to the lab. And so again, this disease can overwinter and it can show up. So once you have it, you're going to have it. And this is something we need to manage. So some of the best management practice currently is using seed treatments that are listed for that. And there's several out there for us. Alivo is one of our big products that we can use to help suppress this. So when you know you have your troubled spots out in your fields, make sure that we have the respective seed treatments to help these early on in the season, because being a root pathogen disease, it destroys the plumbing, if you will, of the plant. And so when that xylem and phloem is destroyed inside of the stems, it can no longer move water or nutrients to that plant, and hence why we see the toxin build up late in the season like we would here in August. So if you think you have that or want to know more about that, follow us on X or PCTnutrients.com. I'm Jonah Johnson. Thanks for watching.